Hello everybody, this is the TT Institute, and welcome to the TT Podcast. Yes, this podcast series was really put on hold. The last one was, I believe, 3 or 4 months ago. We're talking about Doctor Who book collecting. You can check that out if you want to, but that was like ages ago. This is now like a reboot of this podcast series, and you will find that I'm solo for once. I don't have any guest stars, no presenters, no Kane, no Morgan, no Doctor Forever, no you get the idea. I'm doing this solo, and it's the future of Doctor Who. I'm going to just look through and discuss it with you because right now it's kind of up in the air, and it's really really up for debate about the future of Doctor Who. So I'm willing to discuss my thoughts of it with you. Obviously, the Doctor is Jodie Whittaker. We have yet to watch the Christmas special, so we don't know how it's going to go down, and we haven't actually seen Capaldi's regeneration. So let's talk about the third Doctor's casting, because I spoke about it briefly in my reaction video, but I never really went in depth with why the show went that route. And honestly, I don't understand why people find it such a surprise. I get it, like Chris Chibnall has some balls to pull it off and say, right, I'm risking it. The show might go down, but it might save it at the same time. Because, like it or not, this casting will definitely bring some attention to the show. You can't deny that. There will be some Tennant viewers, because you do get a lot of new series fans saying, "Oh, I stopped watching the show at David Tennant." A lot of those viewers will definitely come back to see how this new companion, does, because Doctor hasn't really been in the headline on the Telegraph in a bloody while, so that does mean something. Yeah. So Chris Chibnall made this decision, God knows why, but yeah. Well, here's what I stand with it. Let's just clear the air. This is how I stand. I'm giving Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor, the same chance that I've given Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, and probably David Tennant, but I was a lot younger back then. I'm giving her the equal chance as the Doctor. I'm not giving her the benefit of the doubt. Oh, she's going to be amazing, even though I've only seen her in a 1 minute clip. But I'm not saying, oh, she's going to be shit. I'm not going to watch the show anymore, and I'm not jumping to any conclusions from a 1 minute clip, which is what a lot of people have done. And those people who are going, oh, the show's shit now. It's gonna have a female. I'm not watching the show. Get out of the fandom. Just go. We don't want you here anyway. If you're going to be like that. A lot of people did that with Peter Capaldi. Obviously, more so with Jodie Whittaker, but the overwhelming response with Jodie Whittaker was about 70% of the consensus either was on the fence about it or they loved the idea. I'm on the fence about it. I'm in that majority of 70% people who either find it positive. Well, let's just say it like this: 50% of the people loved the idea, 20% of the people are on the fence, and then 30% of the people who think that it's going to be shit, or they just don't like the idea of the Doctor being female. Now, I'm not criminalising the 30% of people who are being negative about it automatically, because it is honestly a grey area. Some people who don't want the 13th Doctor to be a woman, some of their responses aren't just being just babies about it. They're not being mean. Some of them have some actual valid points that I respect, and I know some people personally that don't like the idea of a female Doctor. It's not because they're sexist, it's because they probably don't picture the Doctor being a woman. It's as simple as that. I guess. They bring up some points like that, and I can respect them. Everyone is entitled to an opinion as long as it's justified and it means something to them. Then it should be respected if it's justified. If it's just people hating on Jodie Whittaker because she doesn't have a dick, excuse my language, but like that is just not that is not on. You cannot. This is sound cliche, but you can't judge a book by its cover. If you have a valid reason why you don't like her as a doctor, that's fair enough. I know a lot of people who are like that, and it's probably only a minority of that 30% who just hate on the 13th Doctor just because. But I hope you understand what I'm saying here. If you're one of those people who prefer a male Doctor, I can respect that. I can respect your opinion as long as you respect others. Saying like you don't hate on people who like the idea and vice versa. And so let's move on to the opposite extreme, the feminists. So yeah, I really did single those out, didn't I? So the 30% of people that I was just talking about, a lot of them have justified opinions, and yet all of the feminists, let's just call them feminists because most of them probably are, people who just thoroughly, like, strongly support Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, they automatically just go into just rage mode and hate on every single person who doesn't like the idea, even though they probably don't listen to what they have to say. That is where the problem is. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. If their opinion is not justified and they don't really, if they just hate on the Doctor just because, but that's not on. But if they have an opinion that means something to them and they want you to listen, then you need to listen. You can't just jump the gun and just go, oh, you're fucking wrong. The Doctor can be a female. Like, everyone is entitled to an opinion, alright? So now that that's all cleared the air, let's move on. So, here's my opinion on the matter. I basically explain both sides of the story. Just cool it, okay? Okay, so, how I see it, I don't mind. She's the Doctor now. There's nothing we can do about it. We can only wait and see. So, yeah, right. So, the reason why Chibnall did it, I guess, is because, honestly, of recent years in the Moffat era, he has been kind of hinting at it, and he's trying to almost pave the way for Chibnall's first Doctor, that being Jodie Whittaker, by obviously the obvious ones like introducing the Missy, that you know, the female master. Obviously, that's a given. To kind of soften the impact of people going, oh my goodness, that was a shocker. So that's kind of obvious. And then the whole the Doctor shooting that Time Lord, that white male, and then he regenerates into a black female, like that thing in Hellbent. Hellbent's a shit story, but it does pave the way for a lot of stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, even in interviews back in before obviously the reboot, they were talking about it back then, you know. I mean, even the Fourth Doctor, when he was leaving, he literally says, these are his own words, I wish my successor, whoever he or she might be, the best of luck. So, Tom Baker obviously isn't against the idea. That doesn't make it set in stone that the Doctor has to be a female every couple of years. No. It's just that Doctor Who, I think now that this has happened and it's official that the Doctor can be a female because it's actually cast, it really shows that, like, we already knew this, but now officially the Doctor can do anything. The show can literally do anything. And honestly, that is something I can praise the show on, and I'd like to praise the show on, is that it can literally do anything. Because casting a man of colour, if you know what I mean, is nothing compared to casting a female. That's a lot less risky of the showrunner to cast a female than it is to cast a man of colour or a female of colour. If you know, obviously, obviously, some of my top choices for the 13th Doctor, I did not see Jodie Whittaker coming. I did not have her as my most wanted, but my most wanted people to play the 13th Doctor were obviously Olivia. No, not Olivia. No, it is Olivia Colman. Yeah, Olivia Colman, Idris Elba, and Richard Ayoade. Those are my three top picks as the next Doctor because they needed a bit of change, and it's good that they went that extra mile. It's good that they did do risks because the Doctor Who, the show does really does really move forward, and I've said this so many times. It moves forward from change, and even though we don't think of it now, but looking back on Moffat's era, he did actually take a bit of a risk He did take a bit of a risk casting Peter Capaldi's Doctor because we hadn't had a really old casting of the Doctor since, let's say, Jon Pertwee. You get what I mean, right? We haven't had a person that old in ages, and I think it's good that they are slowly paving the way for having whoever they want as the Doctor. Anybody can be Doctor Who, and I think that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. I think this is a change for the better, guys. I know that a lot of people don't think that, but I think that change can be a good thing. And I've said this to a lot of people, but this choice by Chibnall is honestly, this is literally I think this moment here is literally the make or break point for the show of the new series. Obviously, the classic series has had its time. It's still amazing, but it did get cancelled at the end of the day because it didn't change enough. But we won't talk about that today. But that's a topic for another video. But it's good that they're taking risks again, because I honestly pride the show on taking risks, because that is where it's at its strongest is by taking risks. And honestly, I think the risk of I think it's good. I think it's a good risk. I do think so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, and Jodie Whittaker, being cast as the 13th Doctor, she is very, very happy about it, and these are her words: "To be asked to play the ultimate character, to get to play Bertrand." Excuse me, let me read that again. "To be asked to play the ultimate character, to get to play pretend in the truest form. This is why I wanted to be an actor in the first place. To be able to play someone who is literally reinvented on screen with the freedoms that brings. What an unbelievable opportunity, and added to that, to be the first woman in that role." There you go. You heard it from her. She is honoured. She is honoured. We have to be happy for her, because being the Doctor, it's got to be something special, right? It's got to be. I mean, yeah. I mean, the show has been leading up to it, honestly. I mean, even in the prequel Night of the Doctor, the Sisterhood of Khan, it was one of the Sisterhood gave Paul McGann the option to change into a woman if he wanted to, and obviously all that. There's just a lot of things that paved the way for it. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, there's just a lot of things. I won't go on. But yeah, yeah, I think that's enough about just the female Doctor, because that topic has been spoken about all over the internet for God knows how long, ages. So so there was this article that was released quite a while ago. I skimmed through it. I didn't finish it, but this was released before before the 13th Doctor was cast, and this is the article is called. This is by the Telegraph. Top 10 tips. That could be a tongue twister for Chris Chibnall as the showrunner. This is tips. So, obviously, number one was cast a female. He's done that, so don't really need to say anything about that. Actually, I will, because let's read what it actually has to say. Surely the 13th Doctor can't yet be another man. Intergalactic groundwork has been laid for a female Time Lord. Yeah. I won't actually bother reading all that. I mean, let's just move on to the second one. Or at least be a black or Asian Doctor. Yeah. I mean, this is all stuff we know. Like, he's already done it. He's casted a female. I'm sure that the next Doctor that will be cast should probably be a white male. I mean, they could do a black or Asian Doctor next. I wouldn't be against it. It'll be another really good change. Maybe not too soon. I don't know, because we'd already taken a risk of a person of an older age and then a female Doctor. So I don't know. Maybe it won't be too soon to pave the way for another, side of the population to play the Doctor. Who knows? I don't know honestly. But either way, it's a change for the better, and I think having a black or Asian Doctor would be a piece of cake as well. So is the third tip. Push for regular scheduling. Bloody hell yes, because oh my goodness. One of the things that was so strong about the RTD era is the fact that the when it was aired, it was so consistent. It was always the same time. It wasn't pushed around on Saturday nights to be played after the X Factor or whatever else. Like, I mean, I know that the show is less popular, so the BBC don't really care about pushing it around anymore. Don't care as much. To be honest, the BBC don't really care about the show that much, to be honest. But anyway, that's just another topic for another video. But push for regular scheduling. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it says here that they should have air to regular scheduling for family-friendly times, 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. No, okay. I think the show would be better if it was aired starting at maybe 7:30 or 8 and then finishing at 9:15 or 8:30 or something like that. It depends how long the episodes will be, and that will be another point. Yeah, so it says, yeah, I think it needs to be scheduled regularly. It needs to have a constant, so that the viewers don't have to go, oh bloody hell, when's Doctor Who airing tonight? Or I think it's 9 tonight, whereas it was 7 last week. You get what I mean, right? Like, there shouldn't be a problem with that, but there is, and that's what's annoying. But anyway, yeah. So I think maybe starting the episode at 8 and finishing at 9. Honestly, it does depend on how family friendly Chibnall plans to make it. I don't think they should go. I think they should go back to the family friendliness that maybe Christopher Eccleston's era had, having that really dark themes. Not really dark themes, to be honest. Like, just having those generic episodes and having the Doctor have such a dark persona, but then suddenly snap to a bumbly guy, chin wagging and all that crap. You get how Christopher Eccleston's Doctor is. We need that sort of Doctor again, because Chris Chibnall, like, he does need to keep what Doctor Who has as a show. He just needs to make it his own. Obviously, that's what every showrunner needs to do. Like, you get what I mean. So yeah, I think, yeah. And okay, so moving on to the fourth, tip. It is bring back Bill. Okay, so alright. So here's my thing with Bill. Honestly, she is one of the best new series companions that we've had, and considering the actress came from nothing but stage plays before that, I really have to praise Pearl Mackion. I absolutely love her companion. She is honestly so brilliant. It might just be because Clara was just a mess. I just didn't like Clara, but looking back, I do. My favourite companion of the new series is probably Amy Pond. No, Captain Jack, then Amy Pond, and then probably Bill. It's just because she's so unique of all the other companions that we've had. Like, I don't know. I just really, really like Bill. I don't know about bringing her back though, because her fate in the series finale for Series 10 was pretty shit, and I kind of want the show to forget that it happened. Well, not really, but I don't want that stuff to be followed up. Otherwise, it will just piss off some of the viewers. It'll just be like, oh, damn. There's that woman who had a girlfriend who is now an atom god, no, a pilot or something. Like, oh my goodness. I mean, her fate was atrocious. But the companion was brilliant. I mean, originally I thought it was a good idea to have her as a Cyberman, but then that whole idea was just ruined with the whole Heather thing and her having emotions, and it just didn't really work after a while. It was a good thought, but not the right execution. So I don't think they should have Bill back. I think her companion's tenure needs to be short but sweet. I think after it all, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. Even though they have paved the way for it, saying, "Oh, I can turn you back to human if you want," just so that the BBC can go, "Hey, Bill was popular, let's bring her back." No, just don't bring her back. I think it's best to leave her where she is. She had her time. She was brilliant, but I don't think it'll be I don't think it'll be a good idea to bring her back. So, and tip number 5 is raid the archives. What do they mean here? Okay. Oh, okay. So it means it means check out old villains and bring them back. Oh, I see. So oh yeah, I get it. So what they're suggesting is bring back classic monsters, so that classic fans. Oh, basically fan service. Then, well, it's not. It's not honestly fan service as long as they do it right. Um, so they're suggesting to bring back. Let's see. Trying to bring back the Sea Devils. That could work, provided they don't ruin them like they ruined the Silurians. Bring back the Wirren. I don't know about the Wirren. I think the Wirren works better as a standalone monster personally, but I get what they're saying. Vashta Nerada, that isn't a classic monster, but anyway. And then Sutek. I think Sutek is better as a one-off, villain. I think Sutek is probably best left alone because he's so brilliant. Omega, yeah, I think they should bring Omega back. Save him, save his persona, because right now, Omega isn't really known for being the most amazing villain. Arc of Infinity. The Axons, yes, I think, and the Hemivores. I don't know about the Hemivores. Maybe if they do it right, they just need to, they just need to pay homage to the respective episodes that they were in the classic series. If it's done well, then I want them, but I don't want them ruining the Axons or the Hemivores or the Sea Devils if they don't understand them well enough. They need writers who understand the monsters if they want that to happen. It's also saying bring back the Rani. That could be good. It depends, honestly. It depends if they do it right, because they just need to do it right, because look at the bloody Sontarans. They started off well in the new series, but they just bloody crashed and burned. Look at Strax. He's just a comic relief character now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they've already brought back the Cybermen, obviously the Daleks, Davros, Zygons. Yeah. I get what they're saying, but they need to do it right. They need to understand what they're doing rather than just jump on it and just write Sea Devils that are nothing like how they're supposed to be. Same with the Axons, honestly, and the Hemovores, etc. You get the idea. And there's tip number 6: simplify the plots. No, honestly, obviously, just have a different writing style. Don't just simplify the plots. Have a different writing style from Mark Gatiss and bloody Stephen Moffat. Just have a different writing style. Just go back. I wouldn't say go back. Just always go forward with the styles of writing. Just new. Just think of new. Just new. Because it kind of needs a variety. Like if they just not every single story has to be a bloody paradoxical mess like a lot of Stephen Moffat's era. I don't just want to hate on his era though, so I won't really just go all just hate on Moffat because I don't really want to talk about him in this podcast. But so I'd say have like a couple episodes in the series that are really bloody confusing, just and then have a lot of simpler ones like Base Under Siege or Adventure, and then there's a variety. There's something for everyone, rather than just having the same old plot style. I think just have a variety, and then you get the maximum potential for audience. Because people who like the Base Under Siege stories will come back or stay, provided how loyal they are. And then the people who like the adventure or the drama or the sci-fi side of it, like just have a variety. I think just just keep it fresh, I'd say, and leading on from that, broaden the writing team. I'd say just completely revamp it, to be honest, because we do need a change, and I'd say bring back someone's like Robert Holmes and Toby Whithouse. Keep some of those. Um, yeah, and Jonathan Morris, some of the other great ones. They need to stay. They need to stick around. They need to contribute to the show. Because there are a lot of brilliant writers in Big Finish that haven't come onto the show, and it's ridiculous because some of those writers on Big Finish are absolutely fantastic, just utterly brilliant, and they just need to give some wise wisdom to the ones on the show. But who knows? Maybe Chris Chibnall will bring on some brilliant people to the writing teams. Who knows? We have to trust him because he's the new showrunner now, and there's nothing we can do about it. Um, here's another point. Lighten up. No, if that's what Doctor Who. Okay, let's read this. Doctor Who should be fun, funny, and appeal to entire families from children's to granny. Bloody hell, no! Like I say, excuse me. Like I say, just have a variety. Don't just go, oh, we're going to classify Doctor Who as a bloody sci-fi comedy now. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. That really irritates me, actually. It shouldn't be lightened up. There needs to be a variety of stories. Is it that hard to understand that you can have some lighter and fun episodes, like in series 4 of the new series of Donna, but there needs to be something for everyone. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. I've already said that. It's ridiculous. Um, Here's another point. Be bold with the format. Okay, let's just read this first before I comment. The current pattern for Doctor Who series tends to be mostly standalone adventures with the odd double episode. That is true. Like, oh, they mean be broad, like have 4-parters and 3-parters like the classic series. All right, that if they do it, if they execute it well, then sure, that shouldn't be bad. That shouldn't be bad. Like that, yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I don't really want a singular Doctor Who adventure with the Daleks for 10 episodes. I don't really want that unless it's like Power of the Daleks or like Daleks Master Plan level of quality. Unless it's that. But I'd say no. I'd say have a bit of variety in the format, yeah, but don't go too mad with it, I'd say. I'd say be careful about it. Just understand what you're doing before you do it. And here, and tip 10, we have think about the broad side of things. Okay. Ratings have been in decline, and too many Doctor Who fans have drifted away from the series. It's time to bring them back and attract some new ones too. The show has a premise that has captured countless imaginations across 54 years. Chibnall's a populist writer who can create mainstream hit dramas, so he shouldn't feel constrained by critics. Yeah, I get that. Like, don't let the critics hold you down. Yeah, I get that. Like, don't have other people's opinions affect the way you do the show. Yeah, I understand that. I guess. Yeah, that's it though for that list though. Yeah, I mean, there are some good points there, but honestly, I hope that Chibnall didn't read that list because there are some points that he has to really stay away from. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that the show needs to change. It needs to be fresh, but it needs to be done well. It just needs to be thought of well. I don't know. I think, yeah. I mean, speaking about like people are having a debate about what sort of companion we should have with the female doctor, talking about how because it's a female doctor we should have a male companion, and it's like, well, do we need to though? Because like I don't know. I think that we shouldn't just go for the companion needs to be the actor of the opposite sex of the main character. Like, that is honestly just a little bit childish. Like, well, not childish, but I think it's just a bit clumsy. Like too predictable. Obviously, it'll be too predictable. But I think that they should really just go all out. Just try and do what actually works. Just maybe do a female companion as a lead companion, and then a male side companion like they did in series 10. That's what I think they should do. Like, they shouldn't limit themselves to just having one companion of the opposite sex to the Doctor. That isn't right. Like, they shouldn't be limited to that. I think they should really follow what they think will actually work. But yeah, and as for like the Daleks and the Cybermen, um, I think that you see, recently the Daleks haven't really been scary. They haven't really done anything. They haven't. I mean, ask yourself this, guys. When was the last time you actually saw like a Dalek like generally shoot up civilians, like innocent civilians, and the Doctor being scared of the Daleks because of it? Like, ask yourself that, because honestly, the last time that I remember that happening was The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. So, I don't know, maybe Victory of the Daleks, but that's not really a big one, to be honest. That's just this little story. It's very contained. It's not really an invasion story, and that's what the Daleks need. They need an invasion like episode. They just need to invade Earth again. Like, they need to do something that is threatening. They need to kill some civilians. They need to be frightening again. That's what needs to happen. And honestly, I think that the Cybermen, I think the Daleks should have a proper revamp in design now, because they have had the bronze Daleks since 2005, and I think it's about time for a change. As for the Cybermen, as I was going to say, I think we should really just leave the stuff with the Cybermen in the past now. I think it really needs to just not really be forgotten, but it needs to be left alone now. The stuff with the Mondasian Cybermen, honestly, I don't really want to see the Mondasian Cybermen in the new series again, because they might honestly just ruin them again. It might just make the situation worse. Let's just leave the old Cybermen in the past. That includes the Lumic Cybermen and the Nightmare in Silver Cybermen. because so far the Cybermen have just been leading to them just being robots. They're not like modified humans anymore. They're not what they're supposed to be. So I think the design of the Cybermen needs to be revamped. It needs to have some 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 respect to the 60s Cybermen, I guess, if you know what I mean. But it needs to be new. We need new. And since there's a new era, new Doctor, probably new companion, new showrunner, it needs to all be new. New set of head writers as well. New set of writers in the writing room apparently. Um, yeah, I think that they should just there needs to be a big change. Probably a new console. I think it's too soon for a new Sonic Screwdriver because we literally got the new Sonic Screwdriver at the start of Series 10. So I think it's too soon for that. But I think that they should, they should change. They should revamp it all with the one or two exceptions. Um, yeah, I don't know. As for bringing back classic villains, yes, just don't ruin them. Just understand who you're writing here. Like, say if you're gonna write Sutek, just understand like how dangerous and amazing he was in the Pyramids of Mars. Because once you do that, then you're gonna get some happy fans. But if you do it wrong, honestly, you'll ruin one of the best villains in Doctor Who, which is a shame. And that's why they need to be careful, especially since they're really on shaky ground because of the female Doctor. Because obviously the fandom is not really split, but the fandom is definitely kind of in all-out war against itself because of this drastic change, and there will be more changes to come, which God rest our souls. But I don't know. I mean, regardless of what you think, this change has definitely put Doctor Who back on the map, which is definitely good. I mean, even if this change does just make the show just crash and burn with its choice, at least it went out like it didn't go out really with a whimper. It really did go out like, hey, we got the Doctor. It's a female. Oh, it's dead. But at least it ended off memorable, even if it does die. I don't think it'll die. I have faith in the show. I've kept faith of the show. I'm not gonna quit now. We all need to stay strong. The show is on shaky ground. It's make or break point. We need to support the show rather than hate on it, guys. So, yeah, I think with that said, I think I'm going to end off this podcast now, guys. I hope you liked this podcast. I hope you don't mind me talking by myself without any co-stars. I hope what I've said really did enlighten you with the situation at hand. And honestly, if you agree with some of my points, then just let me know in the comments. And actually, if you don't agree with my points, please let me know in the comments. But please keep the comments clean, because I don't really want like profanity, I'd say, in the comment. It's just not my. I just don't really want it, to be honest. I just hate somewhere else. If you don't like my opinion, just hate somewhere else, okay? But just let me know your opinions of what you think on these situations. Just talk about the topic. I want a conversation with you guys in the comments. Yeah, I'll answer questions about this podcast if you want, and I'll have a little conversation with some of you guys about some of the topics I've said about the show. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Yeah, I'll just end it here. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.